For today's presentation, what we're going to be covering is a general introduction to the Apptivo CRM offering. So Apptivo is an integrated suite of business apps that has a lot of different offerings. And specifically what we're going to be looking at today is what we consider the core of the platform, our CRM apps. So really quickly, I wanted to start off, let's talk about the platform of Apptivo. So what you see is there's many different applications inside of the system. Right on top, you'll see the category of CRM, and there's a series of apps inside of there. We'll talk about what kind of functions they serve shortly. But you'll also notice there's many other apps in the platform. There's things for finance, project management, supply chain, procurement, marketing tools, and then there's this underlying set of collaboration tools. So what we have is a set of applications. It's designed to very much work on their own, but we do integrate with some of the most popular providers out there. So we have these deep email and document and calendar integrations with G Suite and Office 365. We have some other integrations with phone providers and such, which we'll run through in a moment. And then we have a REST API, which allows us to connect to any other platform. And then the way that our system is designed is when you give access, you're simply paying a per user per month price. You don't have to pay for each app or module that you turn on inside of the system. If you have 5 people in your organization, it's simply a matter of paying one flat price, and you'll get to choose which applications you would like to go turn on and configure for your company. So that's the general Apptivo system. But then specifically when we're talking about the CRM, there's a series of apps that work together to do different functions. Now at the core of everything is what we'd call contact management. So there's a couple apps that just allow us to maintain a database of contacts and a database of companies and organizations and people who work for them, and then track all of our different interactions and information about them. This is where we'll integrate the email history, track every email back and forth with your contacts, track any notes or files, any appointments related to them, everything like that in one screen. And then we have the different interactions, all the things you can be doing with your business or contacts and customers. So we have marketing tools. We can set up large-scale email campaigns, draft nice-looking visual email templates with your company's branding, and then go send them out and track who's opened the emails and clicked on links. And then we can do sales and quoting. So we have great Salesforce automation where you can build out your pipeline. We do even have automated workflow tools so you can allocate deals to your different reps, send automated email follow-ups on a specified schedule so we can do drip marketing and various advanced types of workflows and reporting inside of the sales pipeline. And we have quoting. So from within the pipeline, we actually have an estimates tool where you can press a button. It'll generate a PDF file, send it off to the customer with all of your pricing information, your logo, and then allows them to reply on whether they'd like to accept it or ask for a change, and it just tracks that whole process within your pipeline. So those are our sales and quoting tools. And then we also have a set of customer service tools, which are considered part of the CRM. So this is an area where you can intake customer inquiries. You can set up email addresses to automatically generate support tickets for customers when they email you. You can even give them a web portal where they can log in and raise support questions and view the updates against them, and there's even a knowledge base application built in there. So all this comes baked into the one price. It's simply a matter of figuring out what's right for you and your company, and even just what's right now, because the way the system's designed is there's just an app store. So we're just going to pick and choose which one of the apps that you want to have right now. Everything else remains turned off, and you can go back to the app store and turn it on at any time. So as far as the apps are concerned, we have pretty much everything available over on the mobile applications. So what you'll find is a CRM app. It's actually on Android, iOS, and Windows Mobile. There's even a Apple desktop version coming out shortly. And you'll be able to do pretty much all the same capabilities from the mobile app. Be able to look up contacts, check out your deals, go input people, move them forward, and everything is real-time communication between your mobile device and the website itself. Even if you're not on a familiar mobile device, then the website will shrink down and fit the screen size of anything. So you can access, even the project management app, which doesn't have mobile. You can go and get to that from the mobile website. Okay, then just a few recent awards we've gotten. So we've been ranked a PC Mag Editor's Choice for the last couple years consecutively. And actually, because of the value that we bring with all these different applications packed into one, we are ranked as the most affordable CRM software out there by Capterra, which is a Gartner company. So with that, let's go ahead, let's hop into the application, and let's show you around a little bit. So this is the main dashboard that you see right when you log into Apptivo. But one of the biggest things about Apptivo is its configurability. So as you saw, we have many different apps, but we also have many different options that you can set up within these apps to choose how they should behave for each user. So what I mean by that is, you might have a manager, and when they log in, they might not be doing their day-to-day activities and calls and follow-ups in here. Maybe what they're interested in is they want to go and look at the sales pipeline, and they want to see the performance of the business and how we're doing this month. So what they can do is along the top, they have the list of applications enabled and the opportunities app. This is where the sales pipeline exists. So they can hop in here. There's a bunch of dashboards and charts and such which are available for them. And then they would be able to drill down and analyze the information they're looking for. Whereas, let's say if I am a sales or I'm a customer service rep and I'm logging in and what I want to do is I just want to get my list of calls and the things I have to do for today. That first screen was perfect. So just clicking back to the home page of the app wherever you are will always take you back to that agenda. And then this shows you all of these activities where if you go look at one of these activities in my agenda, what we see is it looks pretty familiar. So if you are coming from any of the classic calendar systems, this is where we do have a two-way calendar sync with both Office 365 and G Suite. So that way you can just put reminders and track these activities in either system. And then the only difference in putting it in Apptivo is you'll notice that our activities, all these follow-ups and reminders that I have throughout the platform, they're going to be linked up with my various CRM records. So I can actually click on this, and what you'll see is it opens up a new tab. It'll take me into that contact record. And then I can go and view the whole history of my information with Sherry. So let's go ahead and, we just clicked on this one various contact. What we were seeing is the kind of structure you get is, okay, you click this Apptivo logo up here. There's always a set of apps on top. So based on the user who logs in, these apps on top will change. So if you're a marketing and sales or if you're a finance user, you'll be able to see different apps up here. And then what you have is there's some few various reports and dashboards over here on the left-hand side. And these will allow you to do things such as, you can go to a calendar, but instead of just looking at my own calendar, I would be able to go and browse the calendars of my other employees. So there's some various tools like that, but the idea is that these common collaboration tools, they underpin the entire platform. So you'll be able to see all the information across all of your different CRM apps and even all the other Apptivo apps. They all have these collaboration tools and reminders built right into them. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at a contact who we've got some good history with and just see how that looks in Apptivo. So whenever you're searching around, there's a couple ways I can locate people. I could just type in a contact's name up into the global search and find them that way. Because I know I'm looking for a contact, I just came into the Contacts app. And what you'll see is on the left-hand side, I have some various links and shortcuts. So I could go and browse through my list of prospects and manually locate somebody. Or in this scenario, I know that I'm looking for a contact named Kenzie. So I can simply type her name in here and search. Now, when viewing a contact, we have a couple different ways to do it because, potentially you're bringing up this list and I just want to hammer through the list and I'm performing cold calling. So we have one way to view a contact, which is great for these quick interactions where you'll see I just clicked on her name. I can get all of her basic information. You'll see I've got who she works for, got her phone numbers, emails, and even some details like this. So this form right here, as far as what details that you capture about a contact, this is one of our cornerstones. We have some of the most powerful field configuration out in the market when it comes to choosing exactly what information that you want to store and then being able to build your whole system around it. And even that could just mean the ability to simplify everything. So potentially what you want is a very simple contact right here and you want very minimal fields. Every one of these fields can actually be deleted out of the system and rearranged so they can fit your preference. But this is just one quick way to get to the contact. And you'll see I can actually send her an email, or I can log a phone call, or set a reminder to call her next week, all from this one page. Or we have a more detailed page where I can actually check out her history and, let's say, find other data in the CRM, such as, well, what deals have I done with her in the past? What quotes, what marketing campaigns has she been involved in? So now we're on this detailed view of Kenzie. And as we scroll down, we see all the same field data. So this is the page you're going to get control over. And if we scroll up, what we have are these tabs across the top of the page. And these are actually the common features you're going to see throughout the entire platform. one of the most popular features is going to be this newsfeed, which we saw a second ago on that other contact. But here you can see we have quite a bit of history with Kenzie. So as we look down here, you'll notice this is a feed, and every action that a user performs in the system is going to be automatically captured. So that way, as you're interacting with these customers, everything you're doing will be stored away here, so you can go and look it up later and refer to it. And you'll see this is things like when I change her phone number, if I adjust her job title, or if I capture a phone call and add some notes, or maybe if I attach a file to her record. Every interaction between your company and this contact would be captured into this one feed. And then if you see that I've uploaded a document right here, potentially I need to go and view the details, you'll notice there's just a tab for each type of information up here. So there's one place for me to come in, I can attach files, which you'll see we have a few various integrations available right here. I also have the ability to come in and track notes. What we have is 3 ways to set reminders for yourself. So the way we could set a reminder to call Kenzie next week would be to come to the follow-ups feature. And I can just go and put in a follow-up, store it for next Tuesday, and we'll just say check-in call. So we can do that. We can set up like a reminder pop-up and such. There's some various tools right there to help you stay on top of these activities. But it's pretty easy to go and just put your reminders in, a few tools for that. And then we have some communication logging. So there's one place to track phone calls, which you can do this manually. I just come in here and indicate that I had a phone call and I took some notes. But we do have some creative integrations here. So we have integrations with RingCentral and Asterisk already out of the box. We've actually heard of quite a few of our customers integrating with others on their own. And then on the mobile devices, there's some automated call logging capability, and changes a little bit depending on whether you're on Android or iOS. But while the call logging's got a couple integrations, the email is one of our most popular integrations out there. So our email is actually universal. Of course, it works with Office 365 G Suite, but it's actually a generic IMAP email integration. And the way that we've done it is a little bit different than others, where our goal is to track every email back and forth with every one of your contacts without you performing any action. So once you go in, you're going to connect your email address. And what Apptivo does is 2 things. We're going to track this email history. We're going to track every email back and forth with every contact. And we're going to give you various tools to send emails out from the system. You'll see right here there's this compose button, and I can start an email to Kenzie. Although it's a bit ugly, I have a standard signature inside of here. So you can go and put your logo in here and set up a company-wide signature. And then on the from address, you will be able to configure exactly which email address you're sending from, so the user will not be able to tell. And then you can have templates built in. So this case, I'm manually selecting a template. I can come and modify it before I send the email out. And to Kenzie, it would look just like an email I sent from my other system. And then it would actually sync this email out. So when I go and pull out my cell phone and look in the sent folder, I am going to see this email. So it's designed to be a seamless tool just to send email out, because many times you'll have a template like this. And we have automated workflow rules. So there's a lot of cases where you can have automated emails sent out on your behalf, just like this as well. Now, outbound email is part of it, but then you see this list of emails placed right here. And these aren't just the emails that you've sent from inside of Apptivo. If this customer just sends you an email, our system will automatically sync it in. And what happens is we just look at the email address of the sender or who you're sending it to, and we perform these associations automatically. And that's what makes this a little bit different, is you don't have to install any add-ons or BCC some address. As long as the contact's in the system, we're going to track the email conversation with them. Okay, so that's kind of the core of the basic contacts and tracking the history with them. Let's talk a little bit more about the different areas of the CRM that we were chatting about. So if we head back into that slide that we were on a couple ones ago, then we talked about contact management. There's a profile for the contact. And if we go back into the CRM, we look at Kenzie, what we'll notice is, okay, she worked for Alameda City College. So it's just the concept of, if you are setting up an organization who's selling to businesses, then you can have a different profile. We call it the customer out of the box, although you can even rename the apps. And the only difference is you'll see a different set of fields. And as you come down, you'll have a list of contacts who work for them. But one of the big things that the core contact management has is it has the ability to look and locate data from the other apps. So let me go bring up a different customer account I have, Arroyo Elementary School. So this is a customer, and we can go look at their newsfeed. And what we'll see when they look at their newsfeed is they have a lot of history. They have been doing invoicing, and somebody sent them an estimate from a sales opportunity a couple days ago, and we had a meeting with them. So there's all this activity going on with this account. And what I can say at any time is, if I know that I've invoiced them or I've sent them estimates, all that data is actually going to be accessible right here in what we call the 360-degree view. And this is quite unique to us. Because Apptivo is an integrated platform, it's just one database with all of these different business apps, we're able to bring all that information together. So you'll notice right when I clicked that, it instantly brought up an invoice history with my customer. So our invoicing is a very popular module. It's a core part of that will build right around the CRM. And then we've been talking about, help desk tickets on the customer support side. So I can view their tickets right here and estimates, any quotes that you sent to them into the past. And classic CRM, I've just got some sales opportunities or leads in the pipeline. So what you'll see is every piece of data, any one of these apps that revolves around a customer, is going to appear right back in here. That's our goal as a system, is to bring every piece of information about your customers into one location so you get the right information to go and maintain those relationships. Okay, so then let's go and talk a little bit more about the sales pipeline, because that's usually when people think CRM, they're definitely thinking some level of lead tracking and opportunity deal tracking. So we have both lead and opportunities apps. So there is a flow where I can import leads. Of course, we have the ability to bring in data from an outside platform. You can connect web forms on your website. We have a WordPress plugin. The idea is that you bring these leads in however you might. And then you would want to, let's say, create lists out of them and maybe go through and call them or send mass emails. All that stuff is going to be possible. So we have very flexible tools when it comes to creating lists of people and creating reports. So what you'll have is if I come in, I just open up the search feature, you'll see I can just pick the status. I want every lead in one of these 3 statuses, and then one of these industries, and one of these types. Every field that you configure in the system can be brought into here, and you can run a report and search on it. And then as soon as you get your list back, you might see that I've got company name and first name and last name. These columns are 100% customizable. So I've actually got one preset called cold calling. So if my intent is to hammer through this list and pick up the phone, then what I do is I flip to this cold calling set, and it just changes the columns a little bit. So it shows me the more pertinent information for this scenario. And then I can always hit this Save as View button, give it a name, and what you'll see is this whole left navigation is 100% under your control. You'll be able to put in whatever links you want, and they can have a predefined set of columns and a filter that you would apply. That's called our view system. Then, let's say if I have one of these views, like everybody I've contacted in the last week, I guess that one's pretty weak, then what I can do at any time, let's actually grab one. There we go. There's a little bit more. I can actually select this entire list, and I can download it to a spreadsheet, or I could send them a mass email, put them together for a campaign. So we're really, really flexible as far as how you can bring your data in and slice and dice it and go and actually take advantage and take actions on it. But leads, you're typically not going to get too much more around the dashboards. I mean, we might come in, we might have some automated assignments or something like that. So once we dive into the settings area, we have a very, very flexible configuration. And one thing we do offer is what's called triggers. So I can come in here and I can create a trigger that when a lead comes in, if the status is moved over to contacted by one of my reps, then I will automatically go send an email template to whoever I've assigned that deal to. So what you can do is you can set up these workflows to go and change priorities of leads, to look over time for when people aren't staying in touch with leads, or to even run drip campaigns where I send an email template when they're first entered, and then I wait a week and I send another email template unless their stage was automatic or manually moved to the next status. All that stuff is going to be possible, and it's also just hidden away if you're not looking for that complex workflow at this point. But opportunities, this is what we saw in the very beginning, when we're talking about a manager logging in and checking out their pipeline. So we do actually have a full quota management tool here, some various dashboards like this where you can see how much money is in each stage of the pipe. And this particular firm has the quota tool turned on where you're tracking a revenue target for each one of your reps, and you get to track how they're progressing against that revenue target each period. So a bunch of these dashboards, they're just built right in, so you don't have to do any sort of configuration. If you just go set up your company and add a couple deals in, you just have to type in some proper amounts, and you're going to want to customize the stages to match your process instead. But all this stuff will just work right out of the box. Then we have a lot of different ways. So we have the classic list of views. So I can just get a list of my deals just like I could in the Leads app. And they've even rolled out this new Kanban style recently. So this is one of the freshest ways to go and browse through your opportunities. And you have like a drag and drop interface where you can move deals from one stage to the next. And every little field, like the text that's shown here, every little one of these details, it's going to be up to you. There's configuration tools for pretty much everything that you can do inside of the system. But although this is one nice interface, it's more about viewing all of your deals. What we have is we have one specific workflow feature that's it's suited for the opportunities. We call it sales stage activities. And it's what you see right up here on top, where every deal has the basic fields that you can go through and configure. But now I can actually define a workflow. So based on the stage that a user selects, the user will just pick that it goes to like the nurturing stage, or I've gone to the proposal stage. And then the system has this automated workflow where, for example, I send out a proposal, and then on day one, the system goes and sends out an automated email follow-up to the customer. Then it waits 3 days, and it puts a reminder into my sales rep's agenda and asks the sales rep to go and follow up with the customer. Then it'll wait another 37 minutes, and it will send an automated email follow-up to go and follow up after that conversation. So it'll wait for that sales rep to click on the button that they've completed the phone call, then it will go and send the automated email. So you can actually coordinate these activities together, and it's all just part of a standardized sales workflow. So lots of different sales tools available here. Every app is going to have built-in reports and such. So, seeing on average how long are my deals open for, or going and seeing how many activities and phone calls and everything are my reps making, or being able to say, well, I'm getting all these deals, I'm getting some from the website, I'm going to trade shows and getting some deals from other locations, and being able to run metrics and see, which lead sources are generating the most revenue for your company and that are the most effective for your sales. So all this stuff is just baked right in. Of course, you can go and customize and build your own. There's a full view system. I mean, one of the big things about the platform is the ability to come in and just, everything's a drag and drop tool. There's certain level of knowledge knowing of which page to come through to go and remove these, but earlier we were talking about there's just a lot on here. So what I can do is you'll notice I'm just coming through and I'm just deleting a bunch of the extra fields that they have on here just to kind of simplify the page. So that's a big part of what you're going to be able to do in the system is you get to put in whatever your business needs. It's very much kind of a it's a blueprint for what you're looking for. Okay, so we've talked about the contact management, sales, and we didn't really look at the quoting very much. So let's quickly show you that piece, and then let's go show you some marketing and just a little bit of the ticketing to wrap it up. So as far as the sales process goes, not everybody needs to do that. A lot of people just have a stage in their process that says, I've sent an estimate or a quote proposal, whatever your organization calls it. But then our system does have a tool to actually generate the file and handle everything from inside of here. So a big part of the way our system works is we connect these business flows together, as you saw from that 360 view. So you'll notice when I'm looking at a sales opportunity, we go beyond the CRM. So we can go into our order management, our billing, or a project management module. Or in this case, the estimate, which is commonly considered part of the sales process. So I just click that button. Now it's going to take me into this estimates app. You'll notice that it's copied over the address details and everything like that I've already entered for the CRM. It simply attaches itself to the same core CRM records, and that's how we build the 360 view. And then we get all of these fields that are unique to the estimate. Like there's actually a template, so I can have several different presentations, different logos, and if you have like legal texts and agreements that need to be on the bottom, you can configure all that stuff. And then here, you can have different lines. So there's actually this standard database of items and services. You can have hourly services, you can have packages and everything like that in here. And you simply build out your estimate. You can add any notes or anything like that you want. We have all sorts of text all over. And then I can go and I can email that outward. You have various email templates that you can control the message. There's actually a hyperlink where they can view it online. Or down here, there's a PDF file that the system's automatically generated and attached. So all of this is just built right in. I mean, you'll just have to attach your logo and do a little bit of work there. Or if you have any standard text on bottom that you'd want to place, you just have to go through and configure that yourself. But that's just one more app that's kind of available that rounds out like the sales area of the process. But let's talk a little bit about the marketing. So when it comes to sales, you saw that part of the workflow or those triggers. I can send automated emails, and I can just go and bring up a contact, and I can click an email button and manually send an email. There is also a tool where I can do some small bulk personal emails, meaning I can just pick a couple of these people. I can use bulk actions, and there's an email option right here. And I can actually go and select a template, and what it'll do is it'll send one personalized copy to each person. So that way what will happen is it's not like they know each other receiving it. It's just as if I had sent a marketing email. But then this works for just a small couple of people. Like, I just attended an event or had a project meeting, and I want to send them all the same update. So instead, what we should do is we can go and put them into a target list, which you see is the other option. And then that goes and includes them inside of our campaigns app. So the campaigns is where we can go and blast out all of these emails. We can track exactly who's opened it. We have nice visual email templates and everything like that. So here you can see an email template. You simply select target lists, which we saw a moment ago from the CRM. You have various capabilities to launch and schedule when this campaign should go out to your various customers. And then we'll track exactly who's opened the campaign, who's clicked on the links inside of it, and everything like that. The great part is if you're looking at who clicked on the links in this campaign, you can actually click this button right here, and it will show you exactly which contacts went and clicked on these links. So as you're starting to get a feel, a lot of our applications look very similar. So when we start to talk about like the help desk and support system, it's very much the same. It's our ticketing engine. I mean, there's a portal technology. There's some other SLA workflow rules. But as far as the ability to look at lists and bring up the details of a case and seeing all of our common tools like our email integration, we took a very common approach to try to standardize all of these functionalities. So very much Apptivo's CRM is kind of the core of the platform. Everything wraps around it. And then we do have very many other complementing apps that they'll build right on top of it, and they'll also be very familiar and easy to use because they do follow the same technology as Apptivo. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's session. So if you'd like to find any further information, what I'd recommend is hop on over to youtube.com/Apptivo. And then on here, if you look down into the webinars section, you'll be able to see some other webinars on other more specific topics, such as that sales stage activities feature in particular, one just on getting the CRM set up, or other information right here. So thanks everybody for attending.